Yes.
It's Extravaganza.
Woohoo!
Something is different in here.
It is different in here.
It's not as happy in here.
It is a little bit.
Because you guys aren't here. There aren't like 400,000 tables or, thereabouts.
It's average.
And like 1 million people, thereabouts.
More or less.
And people clunking their plates with their forks and their knives and their spoons because they've had the best dinner ever.
And the youth running around and refilling drinks and doing all of that stuff.
And saying, "Hi, I'm youth, your waiter." Oh, but I digress. It's Extravaganza. So
it is Extravaganza.
So it's different.
It is different.
But
it's good.
It's good because we have a lot of things that we want to do in Mission.
Absolutely. Well, we have a lot of things that we're already doing in Mission.
Well, we do have a lot of things we're already doing in Mission, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, about what last year's... And Kyle, do you remember last year's Extravaganza?
I do remember last year's
Extravaganza. Do you remember when it happened?
Yeah, it happened the first Friday of March, like it always happens.
And that was like 1 week before...
Stay-at-home orders.
Stay-at-home orders. I think that was kind of a God thing.
That was... a legitimate, huge blessing.
I think it was. Because we raised a lot of money and did a lot of stuff with Mission this last year.
And because of the money that we raised, we were able to do a lot of stuff.
So last year we would have looked at each other and said, oh, we aren't going to have to do a virtual Extravaganza. That will never work.
And by that you mean last year we did actually say that?
We did actually say that.
Yeah.
When we sheltered at home and we were like, oh, we got Extravaganza in. Oh, thank heavens.
Yeah.
Well, by next year...
we'll all be back to normal.
Exactly.
Normal.
Well, loosely speaking, depending on what you're talking about.
As normal as we've ever been.
But Kyle, you know what the world missed because of, in relationship to Extravaganza, you know what the world missed this last year? And what I missed this last year?
I don't know.
I was supposed to, clearly I didn't take I was supposed to go salsa dancing twice. I was going to learn, I was taking salsa dancing lessons.
Did it come with lessons?
Yes. It was actually like,
good.
because I've never had dancing lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You probably couldn't tell that from the way I was like.
Shocker.
And the other thing is that there's a whole lot of bang bang shrimp at Bonefish Grill.
That did not get eaten by you.
That did not get eaten by me this year. What did the world miss because we had to shelter at home and not get together to do things that you offered last year?
Yeah. So last year I offered some fun at Topgolf.
Oh!
And so I have not been able to do that yet with the folks who purchased that. But I have to say, it's been probably good because I have needed all of the time I can get to work on my golf swing.
Oh, no, working on a golf swing doesn't help. Like the more you work, my experience is the more you work on a golf swing, the less better you are.
I'm starting pretty low. So I feel like some work is definitely, maybe I could overwork it. It is possible that I could overwork it. But
So the world has missed me learning to salsa dance, you getting better at golf, bang bang shrimp getting eaten, and lots of laughter. But that doesn't mean that it's all for naught because A, that's all still out there, and B, we're doing a virtual Extravaganza.
We are doing a virtual Extravaganza.
And there have been items listed all week.
There's tons of items listed.
And people have registered and are bidding, and if they haven't yet registered and are bidding, can they do that now?
In the description of the video.
Oh.
That's over here, I think.
Okay.
You can click on the link and go to that. You can see the link there on the screen, the magic of Hollywood. And people can go there. You can register. You can do Fund a Need. You can see all the items that we've got. You can bid. You can watch some of the videos that we're going to see tonight. You can go back to those anytime. But there's all kinds of stuff that's happening on that website.
So as you just kind of went down that list, are we going to explain some of that stuff in a little more detail as we go on this evening?
Absolutely.
Even though I'm going to have great fun trying to get you off track all the time, because
I do believe that you are going to have fun with that.
That's the way I roll, and I am going to continue to try to salsa dance. So
great.
Let's
make sure that we get that on camera.
That will help you.
Yeah. It helps me focus very much when we do
Okay,
that.
so we should do a video now.
Yes, so let me tell you what's going to happen this evening. We have videos that are pre-recorded that are going to tell you all about what your money goes to. We'll keep giving instructions, directions about how you can participate in this. We're going to hear from the Extravaganza Committee here in just a second. We've got musicians lined up. We've got all kinds of awesome things happening. So we are glad that you are here tonight. To begin all of this, we get to listen to the people who make this happen. Every year there is the Extravaganza Committee that works behind the scenes, and you know who they are if we're all here, because they're running around and their hair is actually on fire the entire night. But we sat down with some of them, much to their chagrin, and made them talk to a camera, because they don't have to, get to do this every single week, and talk about why Extravaganza is important and what is different this year and how they've approached it.
You know what?
What?
That's a God thing. We would never have gotten them to acquiesce to coming up front in front of 4 billion people and telling what Extravaganza means to them. But because it's virtual, they kind of didn't have a choice.
They tried to have a choice, and we said they didn't.
No, because we are the king and queen of everything when we're virtual.
Yes.
Okay, let's watch the video.
We moved here in '99 just as this building was about to open. And one of the first events that we attended was Mission Madness. Mission Madness was the predecessor to Grace Extravaganza. And the main purpose of Mission Madness was to provide funding for our youth mission trips and for our medical mission in Tochi. At that time, we did the whole event just inside the Celebration Center. The auction tables were on one side, and the dining tables were on the opposite side, and in the middle we would all come together for the live auction. A few years later, Sheila Goyer had this great vision of one large event that would raise enough funds to provide the support we needed for all the missions of Grace. And so her family and friends, with Sheila's direction, started Grace Extravaganza in 2005. Since that time, 3 other remarkable women have led us through Grace. First Janine Cooper, then Jane Stevens, and now Liz Dunsing. Through their vision and their work, we're now on our 17th year of Grace Extravaganza. In the last 16 years, we have raised over $1.1 billion for the missions of Grace. There's 2 things that I love the most about Grace Extravaganza. One is that at about 5 o'clock on that Friday evening, I walk down the halls and this place is totally silent. And within an hour, the noise level is tremendous. People are laughing and hugging and seeing each other for sometimes the first time in weeks and months. This is a mighty building, and there's many doors and many services, and you can go for ages without seeing someone that you've known for years as a member of this church. But on that night, we all come together as one. It's like a great family reunion. The other thing that I love, I always stop and remind myself that every person that gives an item, every person that buys a ticket, makes a bid, makes a donation, or works on Extravaganza is giving something to a person that they do not know. We've learned here at Grace that all of us can make a difference as individuals, but when we work together, we can do something extraordinary. The people that come to Extravaganza then give their trust to Grace to take those gifts and go out into the world and make a difference in mission. Every year I'm thankful that I can work on Extravaganza one more time. Every year I'm amazed and humbled by what the people of Grace do. And every year I'm appreciative for the faith and the generosity of this family.
I've been in this role for 10 years. The last 5 years have been with Liz Dunsing, who's been the committee chair. This is very rewarding to earn a lot of money for so many good causes. Our congregation really loves it, and they support it very well. We wanted to make some changes this year. Normally we send out a letter to local businesses requesting donations, and I generally follow up with phone calls after that. While the pandemic has been very hard on all of us, we can only imagine how difficult that would be on the businesses that are trying to stay running and to keep their employees. So in all good conscience, we just didn't feel like we could ask them for money this year. The timing for that just simply wasn't right. So with some committee brainstorming, we decided to even take that just a little bit farther. We decided that we would send those businesses a letter and thank them for all of their support in the past years. That letter was signed by Pastor Nanette, Liz, and myself. In the weekly grace notes that sent out every week in the email, we have listed all of those businesses who have religiously supported us. When the occasion arises, we ask that you support those who have supported us. Thank you.
Because of Extravaganza, we've been able to do mission work all around the world. We've sent mission groups to Africa and Haiti and Guatemala and Mexico. And that includes some of our youth mission trips. We've also sent our youth all around the country to do mission work, but also to grow in their faith and have an understanding of the way other people live. We've also been able to help home churches in Russia and the Coalfield Ministries in West Virginia. But some of our greatest work is down at the Center of Grace, where your generosity changes lives every day.
This is my 6th year of doing Extravaganza. I have so much enjoyment doing it that it may have to be taken away from me at some point. This year is a really different year. All the other years it's been so much fun putting together a party that everybody wanted to come to, and the anticipation and the excitement and the joy of all being together for one goal to see how much we can do to help people has been wonderful. This year it's a bit different. We don't get to all be together. The need is greater than ever. The money this year is going to go to the Center of Grace. We have been still doing weekly dinners. I got involved in Extravaganza because of my attachment to the food ministry at the Center of Grace. I've been helping over there for a number of years now, and I enjoy feeding people, and we've continued to do that this year, but it's been more difficult without being able to serve them at their table. One thing I'd like people to think about is this year we're not buying tickets to go to Extravaganza. So maybe you would think about taking that extra $30 or $35 and adding it to a donation for Fund the Need so that we can take that money and help other people eat. We've tried to be careful this year not to ask for too many donations from companies that have sponsored us in the past that might have had a tough time this year. We will still have some wonderful items for you to bid on, and I hope that you all take the time to look at it and also remember how very blessed we all are to be part of this congregation, that we can work together and reach out and help people.
So wasn't that fun? Because, right, we got to hear from the Extravaganza
Absolutely.
people, and I want to say, because I know that they were not comfortable doing it, that was a huge sacrifice that makes my heart smile an awful lot. And I know all of the folks who are listening are smiling with their hearts as well, because friends, these volunteers who are most of the time in the background, that's why they don't like to be up front, because they like to do all of that. It's their way of serving.
Yep.
Their way of
And they're
serving
doing an
mission,
awesome
their way
job.
of serving God, and making us all have a good time
Yes.
without having to worry about anything.
Yeah. And you know what? One of my favorite ways to have a good time
How?
about Extravaganza, I love every year when people are able to gather here, looking out and seeing all of the table decorations.
Oh, right. Have you decorated a table?
I have decorated a table a couple of times. Mhm.
Yeah, and what was your favorite? What was your favorite? Or did Hope really do it, or did you do it, or come on?
Yeah, okay. So what Nanette would like me to tell you about is one time that I maybe got in trouble with my spouse, Hope, because
One time?
one particular time, a couple years ago, we did the county fair was the theme, and so we had all sorts of stuff, and bless her heart, she sent me to the store to go buy some things for decorations. And I did that. And $400 or so later, I brought all of that. And as I'm bringing in an entire rolly cart filled of them, that's the first time she had seen any of them, she said, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's just some things that I picked up." And so we decorated. I said, "Honey, I will take back everything that we don't use, maybe even something we do use." That didn't happen. So those items are still spread throughout our house. Occasionally, if we're cleaning the basement, she'll pick up a sign that says, farm fresh eggs, and hold it up and just glare at me.
Because let me let you know what's going through her mind.
Yeah.
With that money you spent, we could have had probably multiple beautiful nights in an expensive hotel on the plaza.
Yeah, So,
But it was all for a good cause.
yes, and you know what? It was a really good-looking table.
I have no doubt about that.
It was fantastic.
Do you want to ask me if I've ever decorated a table?
I do want to ask you if you've ever decorated a table.
I know this is shocking everyone. Decorating is not really my gift in life. But I've had lots of people in my life who've been great decorators.
Yes.
So Missy Patterson decorated tables for me for many years. Christy Cooper. And here's my favorite.
Okay.
So the year that, I think it was movie stars, the theme was about movies.
Okay.
And so Christy came and she said, Nanette, what movie? And she gave me several options and I chose Finding Nemo. It was the best decorating table ever because I like to talk whale. And that was like, you can't really just go around talking whale because people sort of don't get it.
Yeah.
But if you have a themed table
Then everybody
for
knows.
Finding Nemo, it's a perfect setting for you to talk whale.
Did you talk exclusively whale that evening?
No, I talk some regular because there were some, there's always people that sit at my table that I'm supposed to be like senior pastory with.
Oh, yeah.
So like maybe more polished and professional. Exactly. So I do that, except for the year that the whole Dolly thing happened, the whole Dolly incident. We're not remembering that one. We're not remembering the whole Dolly incident.
What's interesting is I do remember it.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, I think I do.
That particular night, the president of Baker University was here with her spouse. That was so I had been very professional and polished until Dolly came out. See, friends, Extravaganza is it's a once in a lifetime event every year. Because that ain't never happening again.
Well, it might happen.
It's not going to happen again.
might
But
happen.
Kyle, this year,
Because
there's not tables here being decorated, what do you think has happened?
I think that we've had some people decorate some tables at their house to have their own little party. And you know what? The best part of it is you get to pick your own theme this year.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
It's like people couldn't go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
Yep.
So the people in New Orleans did Yardi Gras.
Yeah.
They did like Mardi Gras in their own yards.
Yep.
So we're doing decorate your table at home with your own theme.
There you go. And that is fantastic. That is a great way to celebrate. So I hope that people watching this have decorated.
Absolutely.
And if they haven't decorated,
There's still time.
They hit the pause button.
Exactly.
Go dig something out of the basement.
Right.
There's got to be an old Halloween costume there somewhere.
Or some expensive county fair
If
decoration.
you-
Hope?
She would love that.
Yeah.
So that is an option to help celebrate. And if you do that, send us a picture. You can, somewhere on the event page or something, you can just share it. We would love to see how you decorate. Even if it's tomorrow, we'll still take your photos. It'll be fine. So share, let us know. And maybe if you've been at an extravaganza here in this room before and you have a picture of a table,
Send that
you can
in.
share that. Maybe when Nanette did Finding Nemo or we did a county fair. All kinds of options there. So one of the things that we get to celebrate tonight then is hearing from our musicians.
All right.
So we've got sort of all of our musicians represented, and right now one of the things that I've been super impressed with and grateful for as we've morphed through all of this crazy year that we've had is the Common Grace musicians and the way that they've been able to record and do some creativity and bring their talents and the talents of Matthew and Chandler and our tech team to make all kinds of things happen. So that has been a really fun adventure and a new challenge, and I think it's turned out really well. So they're going to share a song, so you can go grab your decorations to come decorate your table, do all of that while we hear from the Common Grace musicians.
Darkness tries to roll over my bones. Sorrow comes to steal the joy I own. Brokenness and pain is all I know. I won't be shaken. I won't be shaken.
So this is how you can participate in the giving portion of this evening. There's the website in the description of this video. You can click right on that, and it's very easy. It's going to ask you to register. You'll give some information. I can promise you this: it is a very secure site. It's somebody that we've contracted with, so it's safe to do it 100%. You'll create a registration really quick. You do put your credit card info in there. Again, super safe. Very big company, trusted company. So you do that, and when you go there, there's two different sort of bidding types of activities happening, okay? Number one, we've got all sorts of items that you can bid on, everything from trips to memorabilia, baskets, handmade things.
Signed things.
All sorts of things. So that's one way. And then there is the Fund a Need. And Fund a Need is just a way that we support a very specific need in our community. And it is a donation. 100% of it goes directly. This year it'll be to the Center of Grace. We'll talk more about what it's going to specifically later on in the video. But 100% of it goes directly there. There's no overhead. There's no cost. There's no anything. It goes to support some of the ministry that's happening at the Center of Grace. So that's the two ways to give. Really easy. The website has all of the items on it. And again, like I said earlier, you can watch videos on there. It's very easy to navigate.
You know what's really wild about Fund the Need, which is, by the way, my favorite.
I know it's your
absolutely
favorite.
my favorite.
But what's wild about it?
Here's what's wild about it. So our marvelous, from Strickler Auctioneering Company, he comes, and then the Nigro brothers come,
Yep.
and they're so great, right?
Yep.
And then during Fund the Need, it's really just like how many people will give $1,000, or how many people will give $2,000, or whatever. And it's like one year, the auction people say, hey, Pastor Nanette, why don't we start higher than you normally do? And I'm like, I don't know. And the Nigro brothers are like, well, you Methodists, they're Catholic. You Methodists, if you'd allow your people to maybe drink some libations, stronger than tea, you'd get more money. And I'm always like, oh, Nigro brothers, we love you. I would get kicked out of the ministry, and they're like, well, but on balance,
is it for a good cause?
Is it for a good cause?
Is it for a good cause?
And so one year we just threw caution to the wind. We threw caution to the wind, and I got up there to start it, and I was supposed to say $2,000, and I said $5,000. You know what happened?
What?
2 people. I'm not even kidding you.
Are you serious?
I'm not even kidding you. Without alcohol, 2 people went $5,000. And I got so excited, right? So we went $5,000, and then I think we went down to like $2,500, and I raised my bid card. So that wasn't exactly planned, but I was so excited.
Yeah.
And so that's what Fund the Need does, the power of the Spirit. I'm not homeless. It took a little longer to pay off the credit card.
Right.
But you know what? All that money went directly to the mission that we had chosen.
Yep.
So not one penny went to your overhead.
Nope.
I mean, I know you went out and got a new suit and everything.
Right.
Not one penny went to my wardrobe or Chandler
Or Dolly's.
or Matt's or Dolly's. No, I'm not sure where Dolly got her wardrobe, but and so that's why Fund the Need is so great. Now, what we haven't been able to do this year, because we've been so closed down, is to kind of get a sense of everything that's going on at the Center of Grace.
Yeah.
Kyle, it's mind-boggling.
It actually, yeah.
It flat out is. And within 2 weeks of sheltering at home, it's like that team, Pastor Sylvia and her team, recalibrated, reconnoitered, everything. I can't imagine what was going through their heads. And within 2 weeks, they had moved from free dinners Wednesday and Thursday nights that everybody came down, sat down, and were served. They were doing curbside meals, lunch and supper.
Yep.
Free.
Yep.
And so it wasn't just that, but that's kind of the biggest one. So this next video is Pastor Sylvia talking about all the stuff that they've been able to do in the last year, partially helped by Grace Extravaganza,
Yep.
that has allowed them to really be in mission during a very difficult time. So friends, take a watch of this.
Hi, I'm Pastor Sylvia Romero, and I am the Executive Director here at the Center of Grace. Our ministries have developed through the years, and we were offering, for example, community dinners twice a week. And so we had a dining room full of people every Wednesday and Thursday, and they came, and our volunteers prepared the meal and served the meal and cleaned up. And once the pandemic began, then we had to figure out how to continue feeding people in a safe way. And so we began doing to-go meals. So we have been doing free to-go meals. People line up outside the building and in their cars, and we still have wonderful volunteers who prepare the meals, put them in to-go boxes, and then when a car pulls up, we just ask them how many people in their family, and they get as many meals to go. I'm thankful for all the people who have volunteered to bake cookies, because we still put 2 cookies with each meal. And people really like that. So the clothing closet we reopened towards the end of August. I wasn't so worried about clothing during the summer, but once kids started school and knowing that the weather was going to get colder, then we decided, in talking with the volunteers and our staff, what's the safest way to do the clothing ministry. And so what we have been doing is people call us and make appointments. And we take up to 6 people each half hour. We ask people, only 1 person per family can come into the building, and everybody has to wear a mask. And so by doing it that way, we're keeping everyone safe. We still have a lot of volunteers who sort the donations every Monday and Thursday afternoon, and then we have volunteers who are here when we're open. On Wednesdays from 5 to 7 and Saturdays from 9 to 11, we're open for shoppers. And that has worked really well. It's been interesting because actually the volunteers and the shoppers like it a lot better, because it is quieter, it is calmer, and they can actually talk, and get to know each other. So we may just keep it like that. I really do miss all the people who used to be part of our volunteer crew. They cannot volunteer at this time because of health concerns, and that's been hard. Thank God we have enough people who can help us, and I can't wait until the day when we're all vaccinated and we can actually gather again. Another thing that changed that is exciting, I think, is that we actually added to what we do. So last year, we started distributing produce, fresh produce boxes, and we distributed like 6,000 produce boxes to people in need. And we also started a program where we distribute hygiene kits. We put those together and distribute them on Wednesdays when people come for the to-go meals. And each family can take a hygiene kit home once a month. It's been wonderful to be able to help families in that way. They are so popular that we decided that it's a program that we want to keep. Another thing that changed is that because a lot of people lost their jobs because of the pandemic, or their hours got cut, then we increased the amount that we help families when we help them with rent and utilities. We have been able to do that thanks to a COVID relief fund that we created and that we have some grants for, and that we continue to receive donations for that. We anticipate that at least until fall, we'll continue to have people who are in need. We have been open all this time. We have been working all this time. We are not working from home. We are on site. Boys and Girls Club is also open, and they are serving a fewer number of students, but they did a summer program, and they are here Monday through Friday before school and after schools. The only weird thing is, for example, Johnson County Community College is doing everything online, so we miss our adult ESL students. Since the preschool operates with their kiddos, then we don't have that going yet. So I'm really looking forward to the day when we can all be together again. The other huge change, of course, is that we had a successful capital campaign and we raised $6 million. Thank you to all of those who helped us with your pledges and donations. And construction has begun. I can't wait until that's done. Thank you for your continued support to the Center of Grace. Your prayers, your donations, your volunteering. Thank you so much for your support.
As you said, it's genuinely mind-boggling. All of the stuff that's been happening over there, everything that's expanded, the thousands and thousands of meals, even more than before, that they've served. They're now, the Boys and Girls Club is back operating safely. It's amazing. And Sylvia, she looks so like upbeat and happy in that video. I don't know how she isn't like laying on the desk as she's talking about it, but I think she gets a lot of energy from it.
Well,
and
she does, and she has a grandchild, so that makes a difference.
that
as well.
does help a lot.
The other thing is that happened at the center this year is that like they got more grants than they've ever gotten before
Yes.
too, and that I know that takes work. It doesn't just like people don't just come over there and
Appear.
like dump money, but it also speaks to the legitimacy of the work they're doing that people
Absolutely.
want to invest in it.
Absolutely.
So Kyle, we have some things sitting up here with us.
We do.
We decided that we needed ambiance since we don't have you all out here. And so we brought up some items that I think you've probably seen if you've been on the website. Some baskets, some things that are being offered and that have been offered for our live and silent auction. We just decided to highlight some of them. And so, Kyle, I'm gonna start with one that's very hard for me, and I sort of feel a heat coming out of it. So there is a basket here that's entitled. I don't know if I can say the words.
I don't.
It's a KU basket, and the words are the two words they say when they say blah blah KU, and it starts with an R, the first word, and the second word starts with a C.
Ooh, gross. KU?
Yeah. I can't bring myself to say the R and the C. But friends, this is a KU basket, and if you happen to like that kind of thing, it looks amazing to me. But you know what? To partner with that, there's not a K-State basket, and I'm sure KU people will have something to say about that. But there is this basket that is wrapped in purple.
A very beautiful color.
It's a big
nice
basket.
bow on it. It is
very big.
It's larger than the
It
KU
is
basket.
larger than the KU basket. And this is a cupcake fun basket. There's a mystery basket. There's several mystery baskets.
Oh, interesting.
I know, right? I have no idea what's in there.
Do you know what's in it?
I tried to like hold it over the stove and steam it open.
Did you shake it?
This doesn't steam open.
Okay.
Kyle, this is a puppy love basket.
Oh.
It's a puppy love basket.
I
love puppies.
I love puppies. I kind of like this.
I know, right? And it's got a purple chew toy in it.
And a Chiefs one, both.
And a Chiefs one.
Speaking of puppies,
Yes.
These quilts right here are made for dogs. And I happen to have received one as a gift previously by the person who makes them. And I can tell you, hands down, Gunner's favorite place to lay. So you've got that if you've got puppies running around.
Well, and you know what? You know what one of my favorite seasons of the year is? Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what? We have Christmas trees.
And these-
handmade.
These are awesome. I love them so much. The Santa one is my favorite.
I know, right? And there's a fire truck.
Yep.
Which the wheels work because I have maybe played with it a little bit. So it's slightly used, but very gently.
Very good quality.
Yeah, very good quality. And then I don't know what this is for, Kyle.
It's a glass hanger.
As United Methodist pastors, we would not know what this is.
It's a way to store your glasses.
It's just a way to store any glasses.
Any glasses.
Some glasses.
You can put eyeglasses on there.
Like fancy glasses.
Fancy shaped glasses.
Now there are two like larger holes in the middle that you could maybe put
for
vases of flowers.
Or bottle-shaped glasses.
Or bottle-shaped glasses.
Two of them.
Handmade. So you and I would not probably
I don't know what
understand it, but other people might.
Some people do get excited about those.
And so just like Common Grace provides music
Yes.
in a different way now.
Yep.
One of the things that has been amazing about our virtual worship, as much as we miss everybody and everybody wants everybody back, our traditional musicians have really come through for us.
Yeah.
I mean, their giftedness, their talent, their generosity of heart and spirit, because we've just messed up their whole weekly schedule. And they come in and they bring their best every single time. So now, friends, you're going to get to hear a wonderful gift from our traditional musicians.
My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the clear, the far off hymn that hails a new creation. come, while to that rock I'm clinging, since Christ is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. The peace of Christ makes fresh my heart, a fountain ever springing. All things are mine, says truth I found. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since Christ is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've numberless days to sing God's praise. And when we first begun, how can we keep from singing? Amen.
So I love that music every single time.
Yeah.
I love it on Sunday mornings. I love it on Wednesday nights. I love it whenever they want to do it. And they did it this year for this. And that makes me really happy. But what is this? What are we raising money for this year?
Yeah.
Kyle?
So we've talked about the stuff that we do at the Center of Grace,
Right.
which is amazing, and some of the money will go to that. There's other programmatic things that happen through our other campuses, and one of the big things that we support every year is mission trips. And so,
Oh, right.
it's mission partnerships in Mexico that we've had for as long as I've been alive. So we have that kind of thing, and we send our youth to do mission trips normally.
Right.
Of course, that looked a little bit different this year, but the money we were able to raise allowed them still to have a really great experience. I actually got to see some of this. One day, I was at the Center of Grace while our students were serving there, and the conversation, the relationship building, that was wonderful. They did stuff in downtown Kansas City. So that's one of the things that we're raising money for, and Jeff, our youth director, is going to tell us a little bit about what they did this year and how Grace Extravaganza supports this year after year after year. So, Jeff, take it away.
Hi there, my name is Jeff Milton and I serve as the Youth Ministries Director here at Grace United Methodist Church. Here in Grace United Methodist Youth, often called Gummy, we want to take a moment and say thank you. Thank you for all of your generosity, all of your support, and all of your encouragement as we participate in service and mission trips over the summer. Each year, Gummy participates in at least 3 domestic trips. Every other year, the juniors and seniors in high school get to travel internationally. Each of these trips will introduce our students to a wide variety of service opportunities and avenues. We will do everything from physical labor, in which we are participating in construction or yard work, manual labor of some kind. We'll also engage in things that are relationship oriented. So helping a church run a vacation Bible school, or participating in a day camp setting, or putting on a neighborhood event in a neighborhood that usually doesn't have the opportunity or the resources or the people to put on an event. Our mission in Gummy is to love God, live like Jesus, and go and serve the world. Everything that we do needs to live into this mission. This mission guides and shapes all the activities and programs and events that we put on. We believe that in order to love God, to live like Jesus, and serve the world, we need to be engaged in service. Part of why we go on these trips or engage in these opportunities is to help us grow in our love for God. We don't think that we are taking God somewhere that God isn't when we go on these trips. Rather, we go on these trips so that we can encounter God there and participate in what He is doing and tap into the work that He's already engaged in. Mission trips provide a unique opportunity for our students and leaders to encounter God in ways that they otherwise wouldn't have, and to see how God is at work in communities and neighborhoods and in the lives of people. Our mission trips and service opportunities help us to not only engage in service, but learn to live as a person who is serving, to become the kind of person who serves and lives like Jesus. This summer, nearly 40 students participated in serving the KCK and Olathe community, even in the midst of the pandemic. We participated in packaging over 5,000 meals through the Something to Eat program. These meals were distributed at the Center of Grace and with our partners in the Argentine district of KCK. We also served with KC Farm School and distributed food to over 300 cars at a curbside pickup food distribution center, and did work at a homestead that provides housing, food, and education for those in need. This year, we are excited to travel to Omaha and Chicago, as well as continue our work here in Kansas City. Your contributions this year and every year have helped our students love God, live like Jesus, and go out and serve the world. You provided an opportunity for our students to grow in relationships. Relationship with God, relationship with others, and relationships with themselves. You've helped our students see different parts of the world and different parts of their own city. And you've helped our students grow into being people who are more loving, more just, more kind. Thank you.
Okay, so one extravaganza several years ago, I think I was in college or seminary. I had come to help out, and somebody asked me, how many of these mission trips, part of what we're funding, have I been on? And the number was large. And this part of why all of this is so exciting to me is because this makes those experiences for our youth, whether they're trips going somewhere else or this year they're happening right in Kansas City, it creates the possibility for incredible life change. So that's part of why I'm in ministry, is because of those experiences that I've had. And I didn't realize the gift that it was to be able to go on those at an affordable rate, to be able to interact with communities across the country and then around the world. And that is what gets me most excited about this night, is the way that we get to propel students to see how their faith is made tangible and manifest in the world, and see that when we sort of pool our strength and our knowledge and our resources together, we can make a huge impact in a really short amount of time. So I love that. That's what gets me most jazzed about this experience, and that it continues on today.
Well, and I will tell you, I have done no amount of few weddings here, where like the whole groom's party or most of the groom's party or most of the bride's party have been friends since they went on mission trips together in this church. And they may be in their like late 20s, went to different colleges, had different life experiences, but when those important moments come, it's like I'm getting ready to get married, the people I want standing beside me are those I've known since I went on mission trip together.
I love it.
That is like a deep foundation. Now, the other piece that we've happened, both for Common Grace and your worship and traditional worship, is there have been times we've had youth come in and do music. And as long as I've been here, we have had talented youth musicians, singers, guitarists, drummers, pianists, all kinds of good folk, and we're going to get to hear them tonight as well.
Absolutely.
So, friends, keep eating if that's what you're doing. Keep decorating if that's what you're doing. Keep bidding.
Keep bidding.
No matter what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the youth playing music tonight.
after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me.
our youth are so talented. I can't even go there. And by the way, some of those kids I might have baptized
when they were 14 or something.
Absolutely. So anyway, so here's the deal. We've had music. We've had highlights of the stuff. We've talked about Fund the Need from the very beginning, but we really haven't talked about sort of what it is, exactly how you do it, and what it's going for this year. So Kyle, answer all of that.
Well, instead of answering all that myself, I'm going to let Pastor Sylvia answer it. So I'm really excited about this video. So this video we're about to show, Pastor Sylvia is going to tell us all about what happened with the 2020 Fund the Need money.
Okay.
So we're going to get to see that, something that we've got to see.
Yeah.
We're lucky we've got to see firsthand. And then she's going to tell us what we're raising money for this year. And so I'm going to let her tell that story.
Terrific.
We've got pictures. It's fantastic. Pastor Sylvia?
So for all of us who used to worship here 20 years ago or longer, that old sanctuary has been completely refurbished, and we had raised funds last year for Fund the Need, as you may remember, to do that. So we had a great number of volunteers who came and helped us. We take out all the pews and take down the choir lofts and the sound booth and all those things. And then that has been turned into this wonderful, open, multi-purpose space. So we can just have chairs set up, or we can have tables and chairs set up. It has been newly painted, all the lighting is new, it has new carpeting. Where the choir lofts were, now we have storage for tables and chairs, and it's a wonderful, welcoming space. And the windows, those beautiful, beautiful stained glass windows, just pop now. And it creates this just wonderful, welcoming space that we can't wait to use for meetings and conferences and things like that. I just love the fact that it is open, and the Boys and Girls Club has used that space already for programs that the kids have done. If you ever want to come over and check it out, I'll be glad to show you what that space looks like. So thank you to all of you who donated to be able to do that. This year's Fund the Need is exciting also. The fellowship hall, or the dining room, is not part of the capital campaign for a couple of reasons. One is that part of the floor has kind of sunk, and so we didn't want to invest in new flooring in that space because the floor is not level. So what we hope to do is to find out exactly what is going on, or why the slab has kind of sunk, and to repair that so that then we can have brand new flooring in the fellowship hall. As part of the capital campaign, that space will be sprinkled and we will have new lighting, but the flooring is something that we still would love to do, so that when people come for the community dinners, they will have a wonderful, beautiful space. And also for the Boys and Girls Club when they go back to eating in that space. This year, of course, Extravaganza is, I'm just gonna miss getting together with everyone in the Celebration Center, because there's something about being together and eating together and seeing everyone. But we, just like most organizations, we are reinventing the way we do things. And so thank you for being part of this year's Extravaganza. Thank you for your continued support to the Center of Grace. Your prayers, your donations, your volunteering just help us continue to help our community. It is just wonderful to continue to see how God is at work in this place through, before the pandemic, through the pandemic, and then God will continue working through us after the pandemic. And so thank you so much for your support.
My gosh, Kyle, that was so great to see everything that has happened because of Grace Extravaganza last year, which again, I think was a God thing that we all got to be together
undoubtedly
a week before the shelter at home. But Kyle, I was thinking, as Pastor Sylvia sort of showed us what Fund the Need did last year, there was a sanctuary there. Now, I remember it with like olive green carpet and the pews and all of that. And I was thinking, you worship, didn't you and your family worship at Center of Grace when it was like First United Methodist?
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm.
And so you would have been there as a child.
I was there as a child. Mm-hmm.
And were you in like any choirs?
I was a little bit sad as we were tearing out the choir loft because, yes, when I was a knee-high to a grasshopper, I sang in the choir there. And I could maybe hit notes or... But I sang. I did.
Well, see, I watch some HGTV, and my favorite HGTV guy will say, "Oh, it's demo day. It's demo day. That's the best day ever." And as I recall, I think Walt came back on one of those demo days and he was kind of like, "Yeah, Kyle was a little teary today because we tore out his choir loft." And so I just thought I should bring that up as a reminder.
I deeply appreciate that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All I'll tell you is that one of my favorite parts, besides the singing, was on Easter. You know, we would get our special Easter clothes, and I had a turquoise suit. I mean, full on. I was probably this tall. It was like this much fabric in total, but I was so proud of that. I was just levitating.
Okay, friends, I am hoping to Jesus that we can find a picture of that. And if we don't show it tonight, Sally, Rick, would you go look for that picture? We will be showing it perhaps in worship recording in the next several weeks.
There's no photos.
I think there may be some
before
photos.
Cameras. So I am really excited about that. What that room looks like now, though,
it's amazing.
It's absolutely
amazing. Yes.
But then what's going to happen with the floor? And Pastor Sylvia hinted at this. I don't know if it was 100% clear. That is the place where all the meals get served. So the more than 20,000 meals that we served in 2020, when people are able to come back in, that's the room that they'll be in. And the food ministry people over there do such a good job of treating people with dignity.
Yeah.
And we've talked all through the capital campaign what a gift it is that this community and the city is not just giving leftovers, but giving our best to the people there. So to fix that floor, to finish updating that room, not only make it safe, but also make it more welcoming and inviting. They've already painted the walls in that room as well, which look incredible. Do you think it would be easier for you on the non-even floor to salsa dance?
You know,
it might help.
It's important that we come back to in-person sometime soon because my salsa dancing, it sort of sometimes morphs into tap. So maybe the salsa people can help me learn to tap, or like is it the Irish dancing? So, friends, here's what the deal is. We miss you.
We miss you like a really lot.
A really lot. And while Extravaganza is not the same this year, without our tables and without everybody laughing and talking and the energy that fills this room, that just kind of fills your hearts, it's not the same. But what is the same is the mission. Mm-hmm. And what we hope you have seen tonight in the midst of Kyle and I being who we are, we hope you have seen the passion that this church continues to have. For those who are in greatest need in our own community, for those who are in great need in Tochimazoco, Mexico, for those who are in great need in the many different communities across the nation that the youth have been in mission with over years and years and years, and the mission they've done outside of our borders that has changed their lives and the lives of those they've related to. Those missions we still have great passion about. No pandemic can take that passion away from us and away from the foundation of this church. So we hope that this different kind of extravaganza has excited you in a new way. We hope you've had some fun. We hope you found some items that you could bid on that will help the fun in your life in this next year. And we hope that with Fund the Need, which is just my favorite thing ever, we hope that Fund the Need will fill you as you empty your pockets. Yes. So just know you can continue, can't they, Kyle, continue to bid, give?
So bidding concludes tonight, Friday, March 5th at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
So all the items, that's it. So sorry you have to stay up till 10 o'clock watching your item to make sure you get it. But Fund a Need, one of the most important parts of all of this, is going to continue all the way until Easter.
Oh, that's perfect.
I love that. Yeah.
Because Easter is a huge celebration.
Yep.
I love that.
So that will continue to be available on that same website. You can do that, check that out, and support some incredible ministry that's happening at the Center of Grace.
And friends, as silly as we are, we believe that as people of faith, God does mean for us to have joy, because we deal with heartache as well. And so we've tried to have some good fun tonight, and to maybe make fun of ourselves and each other a little bit. But what we know is that we love each other and we love you. And that is because God's heart beats within all of us. And so as we come to a close this evening, allow me to offer a word of prayer for all of us. Gracious and loving God, in the midst of the life that you have given each one of us, you have invited us to have moments where we just have fun together and we play, moments where we find a way to be in mission, in a way that allows us to offer who we are and what we have, to be your best for those who are in greatest need. And God, we pray, it's been such a cold winter. The polar vortex we went through was so hard on so many people who are in great need. We give you thanks for those who stepped up to the plate in those moments to offer warmth and healing. And we're thankful that Center of Grace is one of those places. God, as we continue to give of ourselves in these still weird times, we ask that you would multiply our gifts, that you would bless the hands that give and the hands that receive, and that each of us might know that indeed your love for us is an extravaganza. It is indeed an extravaganza of grace, and for that we are most gratefully thankful. In Jesus' name, amen, friends, amen.
Amen.